Well, hey there, it's Catherine from CatherinePooler.com. I'm glad you're joining me for another holiday card making video. This one was inspired by Christy Goulet. She created this card here where she took the white and blue gingham and paper pieced the patterned paper into the scarf and hat. I thought that was genius. So in a recent Facebook Live video, I copied that and made the white and black snowman with the plaid scarf and hat. And then I thought, hey, let me try this again with a different color combination and maybe a little bit more stepped up cards. So I added more layers. I used some sugar paste and some sequins and stencils and patterned paper, and I just couldn't help myself and had to make a shaker card. So I used the Holiday Whimsy patterned paper, the Caroling Sentiment stamp set, and the Skyscape mini cover plate. I love this cover plate for all the different layers it gives. So the first thing I did was die cut. I did two patterns there because at first I wasn't sure which pattern I was going to use. I didn't know if I would use the lime bricky stripe or the pink with the holly and berries. I love the holly and berries on the pink. So I used my Misty stamping tool to stamp the snowman. I love this stamp set for the sentiments. They're all hand lettered by Shauna Klingerman, and they were created to be in the shape of the different holiday icons. So dreaming of a white Christmas. And so I stamped that in black, die cut it, and then the next step is to stamp the image again on patterned paper and then cut out the pieces that you want to paper piece onto your main image. So I just used my paper snips and cut around the scarf and the hat. And actually after I finished it, I went and took a closer look at Christy's original card where I'm getting my inspiration from. And I realized that she cut around the outside of the black line, and I was cutting on the inside at first. And I liked how it looked better when she cut on the outside. So you cut around the outline of the image and you get all the stamped image on the pattern paper, and I think that looks better because you don't want to have the lines across the hat and then cut off the lines from on the green paper. Does that make sense? So it just felt more continuous and like it made a lot more sense. So thank you, Christy, for the inspiration. I love this. So I knew I wanted to create an interesting background for my card. So I grabbed the Jack in the Box stencil, my Nuvo paintbrush, and I grabbed my sugar glitter paste by Bo Bunny, and I just painted the sugar paste onto my stencil. And you can see I had a little bit of color in my paintbrush, so I guess I didn't clean it out well enough the last time I used it, and the sugar paste is a little blue. Now, I thought that would probably be fine, and I just kept going with it. In the end, when I had the rest of my card pieces ready and I was layering these all together, I really didn't like the look of this background with the rest of the pieces that I had for layering on top. So I'm going to set this technique piece aside and perhaps use it on another card in the future. It is a really cool look, I think, just for the colors that I have going on and the snowman, and it just wasn't jiving for me. So I decided to use the lime Ricky stripe for the hat and scarf and the pink holly and berry print for the main shaker piece, the shaker element that I'm creating now. So the Skyscape's mini cover plate has the outer layer that has the scallops around, and then it has two smaller layers that nest inside of each other. They're rectangles. So the larger rectangle, I die cut the window plastic, and then I die cut white cardstock with each layer inside the other so that it created a frame. And then I took my foam tape and did a barrier around the entire outside there. Basically, you're creating a fence so that none of the sequins can escape. And then I'm going to add my sequins. So I use the Aspen mix. It has some fun, gorgeous white and clear sequins in there with some snowflakes. And then to pull in more pink, because you guys know I love a pink winter card, I decided to pull out my Inspiration Point sequin mix and pull out a few pink sequins from there. And then I couldn't stop with the sequins and glitter and and sparkly things, and I took some of this Wow glitter and just sprinkled a little bit in there. Once you have your glitter and your sequins and all of your little shaking pieces in there, then adhere on your window sheet piece. Press it down and shake. Especially when you have glitter in there, you want to make sure there are no gaps with your foam tape, or else the glitter will escape and you'll have glitter all over the place. Words of wisdom from experience. So next up, I'm going to work on a technique piece. This is take 2. The first one with the sugar paste I wasn't crazy over. So I decided to take my It's a Girl ink pad and just swipe it across my layer. And then using my star stencil, I'm going to add some glittery stars to the background. So using that sugar paste, I'm going to use a paintbrush to paint on the sugar paste. You could also use a spatula to get it on there. Either way works just fine. I'm just making sure to push it down into all of the little openings of the stars and get really good application there. I used some purple tape to hold my stencil in place. You can also use pixie spray, and that will help also make your stencil not slide around, and then also it helps prevent seeping underneath the stencil with your medium that you're using. And then peel back your layer and you have gorgeous glittery stars. It's a nice tone-on-tone look. Next up, I'm just going to adhere this technique piece to my card front. My layer is 5.5 by 4 1/4, so it covers my entire card front. And then a little bit of adhesive on the back of my shaker element. And that is it. This looks like there's a lot going on, but if you break the steps down just like this, it really is a pretty easy card to make. Thank you again to Christy for the inspiration for this card. Leave me a comment and let me know if there are any bits of this card project today that are going to inspire your next project. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I hope you will, so I will see you back here again. All products will be linked below in the video description, as well as linked to the blog post where you can see more information, all the products, and still shots of the project. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you